Welcome back, guys. This is Austin.
I'm Alex.
And this is
AA Sports.
That's so ugly, but I kind of like it.
All right, basically we randomize the teams. We get 3 rolls, and you can pick between one of those 3 teams that you rolled. If you don't like any of the teams, then you get a final roll, but whatever you roll, you have to play. So that's why at the beginning of the video,
LeBron getting blocked right there.
Unrealistic. 2K's fake. That's why at the beginning of the video, however, I will say, I got stuck with the Lakers. Because this wasn't my first choice.
Yeah. As y'all can see, I got the Grizzlies, the way better team.
Hey, don't sleep on the Lakers, bro.
The Lakers looking like Bubble 2.0.
This is my first time playing
small, bud.
with the Lakers.
You're way too small.
Are you talking to yourself, buddy?
No, I'm talking to you because Jaren Jackson is a beast.
You usually don't play well with him. That's all I'm going to say.
That
I don't know if he was a shooter or not. This position's awful. This possession summarizes the game.
Russell against Moran.
Look at that.
3,
Just 4 to shoot.
2, 1. Ew. We live with those.
James can't
Not
get it to
pretty.
go. And LeBron has admitted some irritation.
Great basketball. Look at that passing.
The killer.
Teamwork.
The
Oh
killer.
my God. 8-2.
Killer intuition.
You're too small.
That's why
Anthony
you
Davis.
missed.
Anthony Davis. Kind of. Didn't he go off this game?
Davis?
Alright, so just so y'all know, we are live reacting to this afterwards, and so I actually kind of forgot what happened in this game. So y'all are seeing it at the same time that I am.
I've seen it before. I know what happens. No spoilers, but it's a tough game, close game throughout, up until the end.
Anthony Davis is not that good on defense.
He is.
Steven Adams is bodying him in the post.
Is he?
Yes.
That's not even Steven Adams.
No,
That's
not right there.
LeBron.
I'm talking about the last possession.
Oh. I'm worried about now, bro. You're worried about the past. Alright. Well, we also want to talk about a few topics, actually. Start off with some Mavs topics. We are from DFW, so we are huge Mavs fans.
Yes, we watch them on basically a nightly basis and have many debates about them.
Who do the Mavs actually need
In order to
Contend?
contend next year.
They need me, bro.
Lakers have gone 2 of 8 shooting the ball.
They need me to ride their bench and do data analysis for them, actually.
Yeah, that's
So.
data analysis. Yes, on the court, absolutely.
They've seen. They know what's up.
Everybody always says that we need a big man. I think that people sleep on JaVale McGee. I think he's hurt. I think that if he gets healthy and then learns the system, that will be I think we just need to let our young players develop more. But it's hard to develop whenever we're in a win now mode with Kyrie. And so it's give and take.
It's a weird balance. We forget that Luka is still 23. Oh yeah, he did turn 24. No, you're right. So he's still 24. You know, he's
still young.
younger than us. You know, he.
How old is Josh Green? And Hardy is still a teen, right?
Josh is 22. Hardy turned 20.
Hardy turned 20.
So
I
Hardy-
thought that he was 18, 19.
He was 19 when he came in, but he did turn 20 not too long ago.
So realistically, who could? What a bump! Reading a free throw? Reading a free throw? Ew!
I'm not great at free throws.
Ew! Obviously. Ew!
right there.
0 for 2. Okay.
But realistically, who could we trade for? I've heard you say Clint Capella before.
I don't know. That was when the Hawks were still struggling. Now they're playing a little better. I don't even know if they're gonna make. Let me check real quick. If they're gonna make the playoffs, they're the 8th seed right now. But they were struggling. You know, they weren't vibing with Trae Young during the middle of the season. So I was like, maybe they'll blow it up, right? Now they're playing better. So I don't know. But I would love a Clint Capella type on their team, like
I could
Jared Allen type. You know, like just a big athletic center that it can be an anchor for a team. That's what we need. Unfortunately, all we have is Dwight Powell and
And Christian Wood.
Christian Wood, yeah, defensive
That gets to
anchor.
our next topic. I'm a big Christian Wood stan. He's legit. I think that if we could run our offense through our second unit offense, not our total offense, through him, I think that we would get better. And then also, I think that he needs an off season to put on weight.
See, I think that's the issue though. Is I think he'd be best as a bench scorer off for our team off the bench. But he thinks he's an all-star. He thinks he's a all-star caliber player that deserves big minutes
He could
and should
be.
close out the
When was
games.
the last time that there was a six-man of the year big man? Bad shot.
I don't know. They typically go to scoring guards.
Yeah, I know. And so, like, I think that if he could embrace that role, and then become, I think he could even be a starter for us if he could just get a little bit more weight to him, to where he wasn't getting bullied.
Maybe. Sometimes I don't think it's his body. I think it's his mind. I just don't think he has the defensive like.
Kind of like Porzingis, where he was like scared to go into the post.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know because he stays in the post.
I think those are flipped. I think Porzingis' body couldn't handle the type of basketball you wanted from him, like an anchor that could bang in the middle, but still like extend out and cover the perimeter.
Yeah.
Christian Wood is kind of more built for that because he's like athletic and quick, but I just don't think he has the like mindset or like the intangibles, like the
hustle.
I feel messed up saying this. I just don't think he has the basketball IQ to really play good defense at an NBA level. Like he's always out of position. He's always chasing blocks. He's never really boxing out the right guy. Like it's just a lot of small things that like.
I'd rather have Kleba on the court. I'm not gonna lie.
Oh yeah, Kleba.
But you can't have Kleba as your main five.
He can't play 40 minutes a game. Like,
No.
and he's also very limited
He's also
offensively.
Like, small. Well, I think that he's actually good. I think that he's the perfect fit around Kyrie and Luka but I think that he should be playing power forward, not center.
That's fair.
Because I think that he's just too small to guard these bigger, the Joel Embiids.
I agree, and that's where we need a big athletic center.
Yeah.
But he's also very quick and can guard big wings and smaller wings as well.
Yeah, that's why I'm thinking power forward. But they
makes sense.
play him as a center, and they should be playing him as
It's because we do love the small ball five.
the death lineup.
It's just we just don't have the personnel to really play defense right now. Our three best defenders are Reggie Bullock,
Who gets blown by on a daily basis.
Maxi Kleba,
Kleba's nice.
and then Josh Green, who's a 22-year-old who is just now getting starter minutes. So that's who we're depending on in the playoffs to defend, LeBron, Steph.
Realistically, we've seen
Jokic.
Luka. I don't think that his defense gets like, besides the team defense aspect, I don't think that his defense gets better overall within like the upcoming years. Like I think that we know who he is as a player by now.
I think honestly, I think Luka has another gear, and it all comes down to his weight and his conditioning. I think he's playing too heavy. Like his sophomore year, that's the skinniest he's ever been in the league, and he's legitimately like quick. Like he's quick and he's fast.
Yeah.
And I love watching highlights from him in the bubble specifically, because he's moving like a legit guard. I feel like now he kind of moves like a power forward. Like
But also he can get buckets in the post.
Oh no, he's still an absolute bucket.
If we need
He's an absolute bucket. He's still an absolute beast of a point guard. I just feel like he can get his body to like more Magic Johnson and less Lamont Felton.
If he learns how to like run with Kyrie rather than
Oh my God.
ISO.
Dude, when
he plays.
when Luka was younger, he was running up and down the court. He had conditioning for days. If we get that Luka with with Kyrie, dude,
How do we keep Kyrie on the team? So this is our next topic that we're going to get into. So
that's true.
Our next topic is going to be, is it Kyrie's team? I personally think yes. I think we should trade Luka Doncic. I'm just kidding. Next video will be the one to where I turned into Steph Curry's son, and so y'all see that video. This man still has to do his push-ups for his 4 days.
Oh yeah.
No spoilers though.
You just spoiled it.
Blur that out.
It's good. They gotta watch. They gotta watch that one to even know what we're talking about.
Exactly.
But I will say Kyrie needs to be re-signed, and I think he will. Honestly,
I think so too. With how many comments he's made about how like good Dallas has treated them, but it's just like I think what did we say before this, that we are one game away from one game away from 6th place, but also if we win tonight against Golden State, but we're also one game away if we lose tonight, then we're going 9th place and not even in the playoff picture. So do we tank or do we go for it all? Because we're in that position to where like literally tonight could determine whether we go for a tank or go for it all.
And I think you're right, because Kyrie's in a boot. He's not playing tonight. Luka is playing, but he's been playing through an injury. And we have to play the Warriors, who are half a game ahead of us. So if we win, not only do we move above them, but we have the tiebreaker over them
for later on.
So that's really like really heavy implications for this game. Like it's a must-win. if we lose, I honestly do think we should just tank. Like, we rest Kyrie, we rest Luka, let Jaden Hardy and let Josh Green run 40 minutes a game.
How do you tank with Kyrie and Luka on your team? Is there ever a year that you really can? Because you got to be a win now.
This would be the only like magical scenario in which you could afford to do that. Because I think Kyrie will chase the bag no matter what, and we can offer him the most amount of money, and we can offer him the most amount of years. Because other teams don't want to take that risk. The Mavs have already committed to that risk, trading their first-round pick, Dorian, and Spencer. So they're going to commit to the risk full regard, right? Other teams might not be willing to do that. Other teams might not like Kyrie's antics.
No, the whole social debate about him is just, it's kind of like the whole debate with like Lonzo Ball isn't worth it and LaMelo with their dad. Like, is the media worth the trouble? But then also, I feel like the Mavs need more media in the first place. So
I agree, and plus, honestly, like his political beliefs aside, like in Texas, I feel like people are a lot more like on the spectrum of beliefs.
It's one or the other, and so
I feel like he'll fit right in. Like,
exactly.
Like, if one side doesn't like him, that's fine, because the entire other half will like him for whatever he says. For literally almost anything he says. I promise you that. Texas can be a little crazy.
Who do you think that Luka could go? Who could we trade? Realistically, if we were to trade Luka, who would we have to get back in return?
Honestly, I don't even want to play with this exercise because I think it's too ridiculous. But if I was playing 2K...
So Luka is untouchable.
Yes, Luka is absolutely untouchable.
Is Kyrie untouchable?
Kyrie is not untouchable.
If we re-sign him.
Kyrie is absolutely the biggest trade asset we'll have if we re-sign him. Honestly, I think that'd be a sneaky move to do.
To sign him and then trade him?
Well, that's what the Mavs did with Spencer Dinwiddie, right? They bought him low, they rebuilt him a little bit, and sold him high. I mean, we ended up trading him for Kyrie Irving. That's crazy. And I think that's what the Mavs like to do.
We really did flip Porzingis for Kyrie. That's a crazy flip.
The Mavs love building up like restoration projects and then selling them off. Like, for example, Seth Curry. Like, they bought him low. They signed him to a really cheap deal. No team really wanted to sign him.
And then he started going off for us. He was even in the All-Star voting.
He was going off in 2019, I think.
I'm still kind of mad that we got rid of him.
And then we traded him for Jay Rich.
For getting Jay Rich. Who
back then, Jay Rich,
the most he did was make a free throw in the playoffs.
Yeah, against the Clippers. But, I mean, that's kind of like the value, right? Back then, Jay Rich was still, like, kind of young. He was, like, 25, 26.
Yeah.
He could shoot and defend. Signed Seth Curry and built him up and then traded him off for a good value. Good value. That's what the Mavs like to do. I mean, do you want to do with Kyrie? I think that's what they want to do with Christian Wood, if I'm being honest. But
I think so, too, but I don't think it's working out for them.
It's really not.
I don't know, because every time that I'm watching the games, I'm seeing Christian Wood actually, like, playing really well. Really good. Cut that. Really good defense. And so, like, I see him, like, hustling and stuff like that. But then also you can see, I know what you're talking about, where he's, like, out of position and stuff like that. But I think that comes with, like, I think that's more of a team dynamic than a individual. Because if you're putting out effort, I feel like it's more on the coaching, which is another topic we were going to talk about, was Jason Kidd.
You know what? I agree with what you've said just now, like 100%. Because he's never been in this position where he's asked to, like, sacrifice his personal, like, counting stats or whatever for the sake of the team and team defense and hustling.
It's like whenever Carmelo had to go and become like the third option, and he's like,
see, but the only issue,
but he's not Carmelo. Let me put that out there. He's not Carmelo.
I will say the only difference with that is that Carmelo, used to be like a superstar, and Wood's never even been an all-star.
He hasn't, but he was on the verge of being an all-star whenever he was in Houston. Like the year he was going off, I was like, dang, what do we need to do to get Christian Wood? And then now that we have him, like, people want to trade him away, and I'm like, I still don't. I think it's more. I personally think that Jason Kidd is a good coach. But I don't think that he has the best defensive scheme. Like, he's not getting people on the same page.
Here, I'll say this. I just don't think Christian Wood fits on the team.
The way that The way that Anthony Davis kept you in this game is ridiculous.
Oh, yeah.
Because he's like, yes, he's great and all. But come on now.
Dude, Davis is amazing. He's just made out of glass. Like,
if he can stay healthy, he is that guy.
Yeah.
That's why
the Lakers are scary.
As I'm like watching this back, I'm like getting pissed off about it because I'm like, bro, there's no way. I had the better interior offense and defensive team.
And look at
Jaren
Davis.
Jackson and Steven Adams.
It's okay.
Well, not offensive.
When we traded for Christian Wood, we had just lost Brunson. and we needed the offense because Brunson averaged like 16 points and like 5 assists for us that year.
Yeah.
So
You're saying that now that we have Kyrie?
Now that we have Kyrie, like, we don't need offense at all. We need defense. And that is not really what Christian Wood is in the league for. Like, he's in the league because he's a dynamic scorer that can drive, he can shoot, he can pass.
Like, offensive player, but
He really is keeping me in this game. Look at that.
he really did.
What is that, his third straight bucket?
I think so.
This is where I mess up because I keep him in the third quarter just too long. But I feel like I had to.
If you had better timing.
I got
you
the
were just
board.
better at oh my god. Okay, so back to what we were saying about Jason Kidd.
Yeah, Jason Kidd, it's very popular right now in social media communities like Twitter and Reddit that he should be fired. And I think y'all are crazy. That man took us to the Western Conference Finals last year. No one expected it. Not even Mavs fans were expecting that. I'm the biggest Mavs fan in the world, and I was just happy to take the Suns to 7. And when just winning that game, I was like, this is my finals.
Is that Jason Kidd or is that Luka Doncic?
It's Luka Doncic.
Because as much as we're clowning Luka, not clowning, but as long as we're like questioning Luka right now with Kyrie coming in and being like a fast player and like Kyrie's getting all the flashy points right now, in the playoffs it's known that it slows down. So like Luka's going to be our most valuable asset whenever the playoffs slow down.
Oh yeah, no.
Because he's going to be the one that gets the ball.
There's absolutely no denying that Luka is the main reason we beat the Suns.
And we have. I still think that
the second biggest reason, however, is Jason Kidd, because our defense shut down Devin Booker, DeAndre Ayton, and Chris Paul. Chris Paul went off the first 2 games. He literally got cooked and played off the floor the rest of the series. And that wasn't necessarily Luka. I mean, it was because he's a player. But it was the coaching scheme. It was the adjustments. It was the rotation.
So you think as long as we get there, he can make an adjustment in the 7-game series rather than on a night-to-night basis?
I think it's because I think he doesn't like the regular season. I think he doesn't take it very seriously. Like, his rotations are all, like, funky, and he just kind of plays with them. And Rick Carlisle used to do that a lot, too. Rick Carlisle was the old coach.
Just play with those rotations.
I would say the difference, though, is Rick Carlisle is, like, one of the best coaches of all time, like, top 50 probably, somewhere along, probably closer.
Okay, I thought you were about to say like top 10. I was like, no.
I don't know about top 10, but he's like, he's an amazing coach. He's one of the best coaches of like the 2000s. He took the Pistons to the finals.
He's good, but
he took the Mavs. I will say that series against the Spurs in 2014, 2015, when we had like Vince Carter and Monte Ellis, and it was a 13-14 season because the Spurs beat the Heat in like 6. But the Mavs, the 8th seed Mavs or 7th seed Mavs took the Heat to 7 and almost beat them. And I would say that was all Rick Carlisle, that was all partially Dirk. We're getting off topic, but my point is he'll never be like Rick Carlisle where he makes like amazing X's and O's and draws up plays. Because our inbound plays are awful.
Right now, with the game winners, which I think it's getting better. Because Kyrie, finally we had one decisive rather than playing patty cake with the ball, like hot potato. Like, who's going to take it? Me? No. Okay, fine. And then nobody would get a shot off. Now we're only going for game winners. And we were talking about this earlier to where I think that it's kind of like a mental game because now everybody's thinking that we're going to go for the 3. And so in the playoffs, we can go for the 2.
That'd be a good setup,
That would be a really good setup as far as like playing with the mental because the regular seasons, like they are important, but they aren't as important,
I will say, like, if we end up with like the 6th seed or like the 7th seed, and we end up playing Memphis, who is super dysfunctional right now with the whole jaw thing going on, or we play the Kings, who literally haven't been in the playoffs since I was in diapers.
That's fine.
But yeah, so that's who I hope we match up with, is the Kings or the Grizzlies.
Just at least for the first round.
Ooh, that's tough. Yeah, because honestly, I think if the team starts clicking, I think we can beat the Kings or the Grizzlies.
I think that if the team is clicking, we can play with anybody except for maybe the Suns just because of KD.
The Suns are the only ones that make me nervous. That's true. I'm not worried about Denver, even though they have Jokic. I'm not worried about I already said Memphis, or I'm not worried about either LA teams. Maybe LeBron a little bit with AD, but I don't think AD can stay healthy.
That if they're healthy, then I'm scared of them because they have that. Who's the guy that played?
They have Vanderbilt,
and
who like D'Angelo Russell.
Locked up Luka.
Yeah, Vanderbilt played really well a couple games ago when we played them at home. I actually went to that game. where we choked a 27-point lead.
Oh my god! And we have to
That was
learn how to
great.
keep a lead because I feel like
Oh
every
my
game we have like a
God.
20-point lead and then we just blow it every time.
Yeah.
Also, I feel like Kid doesn't let the people who like are winning the game stay in. He like changes it up.
Yeah, that's what I mean by like the rotations are so funky. Like for example, last game against the Grizzlies, Hardy was cooking. We had 3 field goals in the fourth quarter. Hardy had all 3 of them.
Yeah.
But he didn't finish the game. Allegedly, he was hurt. Now, like after the fact, but I don't know. He didn't seem hurt
easy
during the
dubs.
game.
Y'all see this? Y'all see this? Easy dubs. This boy is getting blown out.
Look at the score. Look at the final score.
7 points.
He got blown out, and he can't
Blown
do that
out. 7 points. 5 minutes quarters.
either. Hey, buddy.
I'm a master. I can't do it.
Oh my God. Well,
I also eat crowns. I'm in the Marine Corps Reserves.
okay.
Keep the mustache.
Oh
It'll
my
be
God,
gone
exactly.
soon.
Exactly.
It'll be gone soon. But you gotta enjoy it while it's here, okay? Because the beard is coming back very soon.
Well,
Yeah.
thanks for watching, guys.
We are gonna go ahead and get ready to play our next 2K game, and then go and I'm gonna give this man a bucket, or we're gonna get a bucket together.
Hopefully the latter.
Hopefully the latter. We've been working really hard and really well on getting our passing together and stuff like that.
Yeah.
So
We gotta keep it going, keep the momentum going.
are gonna be doing like 2K challenges and everything like that coming up soon.
Coming up.
And so
With punishments. So
with punishments.
Something
Let
to
us
look
know some of
forward
our
to.
punishments that we should do. Hope you all enjoyed, and we will catch you in the next one.
thanks for watching.
Stay positive, stay energized.